Aloha, and welcome back to another episode of Gil Gets It Done, our monthly program where we feature people, places, things, and interesting topics along the North Shore and Ko'olaloa districts. My name is Gil Riviere, and I am the representative for House District 46. Here today with me is Uila Vendiola. She is the teacher and the sponsor of the Avid program, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, and she teaches U.S. government here at Kahuku High and Intermediate School. Welcome, Uila. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here. So today we had a presentation called the Green Summit, the Green School Summit. And you want to tell us, let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about the Green School Summit.
Sure. The idea for the Green School Summit, I would say, is a part of a larger project or initiative, which we're calling the Green School Initiative. And we launched that in January of this year. We kicked it off within a school-wide assembly. And we had Kim and Jack Johnson here from the Kokua Hawaii Foundation. They're one of our community partners. And so they helped us launch our Green School Initiative. And we've decided as a school that we want to be a more earth-friendly and a sustainable campus. And that's the idea behind our Green School Initiative. And the summit is kind of our culminating event. That's what we did to kick it off. And this is the end of our year. And so that's where the idea for the Green School Summit came.
So it was a school assembly in January,
Yes.
And then through there you solicited volunteers, or you already had identified
No.
who was going to participate?
Yeah, actually the volunteers about 3 weeks ago, we put our the idea down. And actually I want to give credit to our Green team. Prior to the assembly, us launching the Green School Initiative, we formed the Green team. And the Green team is responsible primarily for different green initiatives on campus. And so with the help of the Green team, we've been meeting weekly and planning different projects, planning different ideas or different things that we want to do on campus. And then the Green School Summit idea came up. And so about 3 weeks ago, we reached out to various groups and clubs on campus and invited them to be a part of our Green School Summit. And the response we got was overwhelming. We thought we had a really good response. And I was explaining to the students that this is actually historic in the sense that we've never had a gathering such as this, where we've brought different representatives from different groups on campus. There's a lot of things going on campus, a lot of great things going on that people are doing. But I think this is the first time that we've made an effort to bring people together for a common purpose. So we reached out and they answered the call, and so we had our Green School Summit today.
Yeah, there was many great little presentations, problem and solutions and resolutions that each of the different clubs or subgroups within the school. And then, as you mentioned and alluded, there was Kokua Foundation was here, and Malama Pupuke Waimea, and various other associations and First Wind and other community partners involved to participate today. So what kind of grade would you give yourself on this project?
I would say I'd say a B plus, A minus.
All right.
Yeah, for our first Green School Summit, that's how I would grade.
Good marks and
grade
leaving
myself.
Leaving it a little bit for improvement.
There's always room for improvement.
That's a good teacher. So tell us, how do you think this will roll forward over the summer and then into next year? What do you see happening in the next year?
Well, over the summer, we have some projects that we're working on. I know Malama Pupukea Waimea is recruiting summer interns, and some of our summit representatives are interested in that, so they will get involved with their group. We are also looking at training some students to be tour guides over at First Wind, and that may possibly take place over the summer. And so we're going into that. We are also, it didn't come up in the summit, but we're planning on establishing a reuse center here on campus. And so we'll be soliciting volunteers to help us set that up for next school year.
The reuse center being, how would you describe that?
A reuse center, the idea basically behind that is taking new or used items that teachers and students are not using and having it at our reuse center available for students and teachers to use.
Okay, great. The way That's great, because when we had the summit today and people were talking, we talked a lot about composting food and recycling plastics or not using plastics. And so the reuse of other products really ties in, I think, nicely with that.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit for the audience watching about the composting program that is presently in effect, and how it works and how you are going to expand that?
Sure. We borrowed the idea. We got the help of one of our other partners, the Greenhouse, and we heard that they were actually helping other schools compost their cafeteria waste. So rather than the traditional practices to gather all your food waste or all your waste from the cafeteria and throw it away and it goes into the landfill, they're actually taking what they can compost and they're composting it. So we kind of took their idea and we decided we wanted to initiate that or start that on campus. And so in January, not too long after the Green School Initiative Assembly, we started composting our cafeteria food. And we've been keeping data on it so we can see how much waste we are producing, which is pretty alarming actually. When you look at the data and how much waste one campus is producing, it's incredible, you know. And so the data is helping us to look at our behavior, our action, and decide that we want to do something. So the first step, of course, is we're taking care of it here on campus. We're composting it. And then the next step would be, which actually should have been the first step, but the next step is to look at how we can reduce that waste. Rather than people wasting the food, is how can we cut back on the waste before it goes to the compost pile.
Right, and then there was discussion today, one of the breakout groups I participated in, they were talking about separating the products, and sometimes people are careless or negligent, and a fork will end up in the compost pile. And was it you or somebody else suggested that? It wasn't you, but somebody said, well, why don't we just bring the students down to the compost pile, and as we're turning it, show them that, look, that fork is still there. It's not breaking down.
Right.
We've got to be a little more diligent on keeping this stuff out. And of course, we had a nice lunch today provided by Kahuku Farms.
Yes.
Kylie and them did a great job bringing the food in. And I was thinking, oh, here we got this Green Summit, and all the little containers were piling up over in the garbage can. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But to my happy awareness, as soon as the summit was over, people came in, cleaned it up, composted the leftover papaya peels, and took the plastic for recycling and took care of everything.
I think our food service, our culinary teacher was here. She's also an Avid teacher, but she's going to reuse the plastic container in her culinary class, to wash them up and use them. So those are the small things that we're trying to do. We're trying to help our students understand through our Green School Initiative.
There is an idea about water bottles. A lot of kids bring plastic water bottles today. Do you remember what the recommendation was? And it looked like that was catching on real fast.
Yeah, the idea there is to reduce or eliminate single-use plastic on campus and allow students, or provide an incentive for students to use reusable bottles. So kind of brand our own Kahuku reusable bottle, have water fountains or water dispensers where they can fill up and reduce the amount of plastic that we are using and wasting or recycling on campus.
Well done. Tell us a little bit about Avid. What does you're an Avid supporter, so tell us about the AVID program.
Yes.
How that got started and what it does.
Right. Avid, actually, for me, myself personally, Avid is the reason I became a teacher. I actually went to law school because I was going to practice law, and somewhere down the line, I ended up hearing about Avid and getting involved with it, and decided that that's what I wanted to do. And so I kind of changed gears and I started teaching here. This is my alma mater. I went to Kahuku. And so I started teaching here as an Avid teacher. And then I became a certified social studies teacher. That's what I went to college for. And so that's kind of what brought me into the education arena, so to speak. And so Avid is it's a wonderful college prep program. It started out in San Diego about 30 or so years ago. And the idea is to offer academic support, social support to students who want to go to college. Some of these students may not have support at home, or they don't have the necessary skills or habits to be able to go to college. And so it provides support and foundation in helping these students get to or achieve their goals.
They're the ones in the gap that either
Absolutely.
don't have the financial wherewithal or they're not quite the super duper students, but they're good quality students that would succeed if they're given the opportunity.
Absolutely, and we've seen that. We had our Avid family night last night where we're graduating 14 Avid seniors this year. And so we're able to see the fruits of our labor. The students are able to see 13 out of the 14 are going to college next year. One is going to work and get ready to go on a mission. But they're seeing that their goals can come true or their dreams can come true. And with the right support, they can achieve those goals.
Outstanding. Well, it sounds like you got a fantastic program going here. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the folks? Is there a way that the public can either support through contributions, activities? You mentioned First Wind has their docent program that they want to create. Is there other ways for the community to get involved with you, or how would they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. I can be reached here at school. I'm on Lotus Notes. I have an email. But if you call the school, 293-8950. 293-8950. Yes, they can reach me here at the school.
Okay.
And there's lots of ways that we can get support or we could use community support. Like you said, we've been working with community groups that have supported us both monetarily and also in other ways, helps to support us. We have an Avid Junior Scholarship program, so we're always looking for people to donate, not necessarily money, but gift certificates, t-shirts, things of that nature.
Thanks, Uila. I really appreciate your passion for this project and what you're doing. How could people who are watching right now, how could they get involved if they either are with a nonprofit group, an area business, or the individual that wants to participate? How could they get involved and help make this program even more successful?
Well, one way we've been able to benefit from groups like Kokua Hawaii Foundation, from First Wind, Synagro, and other community partners. One way is, of course, monetary contributions that enables us to do things like take students on field trips and other types of activities that will help them achieve their goals, whether it's environmental, whether it's college as a goal. So monetary contributions are always welcome, but there's other ways that people can support us. And so if they contact me here at the school, the main number here is 293-8950. If they contact the main line, they can be connected to me, and I'll be happy to see how they could work with us. We're always looking to partner with community groups.
Outstanding. Hey, thanks for being here today. Thanks for sharing the day with us, and best wishes to you and everything.
Thank you very much.
Okay, aloha.
Aloha.
And so thank you very much for tuning into this segment featuring Uila Vendiola at Kahuku High School and Intermediate School. This is Representative Riviere, and I'll look forward to talking with you real soon. Thank you. Aloha, welcome back to another portion of Gil Gets It Done, our monthly cable program where we feature people, places, and things that are going on in the district around the North Shore, windward sides. Today we're in Waialua, and we're outside the Waialua Library, in fact, in downtown beautiful Waialua. And with me today is Pam Kilmer of the Friends of Waialua Library. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the library and the Friends. And thanks for being on the show, Pam. How are you doing today?
Just fine, thanks.
Doing all right? Yeah. It's a great day. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the Friends of the library? How did the group form? When did it form? And how did you get here?
In June of 1991.
Okay.
And it was made up of citizens here in Waialua, people who came to the Waialua Library. And the library cannot accept money because it's a state organization, cannot accept even donations. Somebody has money that they would like to donate. And so this, the friends, there are state friends and there's individual friends of the libraries in Hawaii. And so this one was started then 20 years ago by citizens that knew it was needed and knew that the Waialua Library is important. And we are the smallest plant library on Oahu, smallest library. But we have one of the largest Friends groups. And what the Friends group does is we sponsor programs. There are art shows. We sponsor one with the elementary school in the fall.
Yeah.
And all the children in the surrounding elementary schools have a chance to exhibit their art. It's a judged show. It's a juried show. So the ones that win are put up on the wall in the library for about a month. And then we have a similar show in the spring with the high school students.
So you're a volunteer organization. You have a board of directors, and then many individual members. I think on many nights, when I drive by the library, I can see there's events going on all the time.
There sure
and this library, as you mentioned, is really active. Also, it won the Best Little Library Award in the state or something, or in the country. I don't know. Do you remember that? That was a couple years ago, but this library has been effective. The librarian, Tim, is a great guy.
He's a great guy. We just got a new children's librarian. It was a position that had been vacant for quite a while. And so we're happy about that. There's just a lot of programs in the library, and the Friends of the Library help in providing the money that is needed for something like their summer reading program.
Sure.
And of course the library is the one that organizes the program, and we have more than 600 people signed up for it this year, like children.
650 people in the reading programs for the summer.
Up. Right, and of course the library staff organize these programs, but then it's volunteers that come in and help with story time and some of the events. And the Friends of the Library provide money so he can have prizes for the kids, because it's not that they wouldn't come without prizes.
No.
Well, they come because
but it makes it a lot
the
more.
prizes make it more fun, and even adults come in and get prizes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think it's really important.
What do you think is the going to the library and maintaining the library is really important? There's always budgetary crunches on the state level, right? The state has to have centralized the funding, and that you mentioned that this library cannot accept specific funds for itself because it would be sucked into the central system. So we have our Friends programs, nonprofit, making the money and helping with the activities. How have you seen, I want to just talk a little bit about the library too, but since you're so involved in it, is it changing? I mean, there's more people on computers now. How's the love of the book? Are they still checking the books out?
Yes. Yes, we still buy new books every year. We have great computers. People come in and use the computers. They can get e-books from the library. You can download e-books, and the information is available here.
Tell us your favorite program. What's the best program of the year? The one that...
I like the Authors Night.
Okay.
We have a lot of local authors here in Hawaii, and even just on the North Shore. And they present their books. We have poo-poos. You see us eating here several nights a year.
That's what I'm talking about.
Our members volunteer and bring poo-poos to share with everybody. It's been a joke for a long time. The best place to eat in Waialua is at the library. But
and again, that's because the library itself doesn't have a budget to put these things on.
The library does not for these extra programs. Their money goes to books. We buy furniture for the library. We buy books for the library, tapes, CDs, and the Authors Nights, the art programs, the reading programs. All these things are funded by us. There was a concern a few years ago that libraries were being shut down. Since we're the smallest in Waialua, who do you think was afraid we would be first? And our Friends membership really elevated at that time, and as and it kind of proved that we're needed, that this library is very needed and serves a lot of people. And I think that was very important that people showed their support, and I think membership has dropped off a little bit, but we still need everyone's membership.
It's still an important, very important part of this community. I mean, across the street we've got the bandstand, and there's events over there. And this whole area was the sugar mill and the downtown area once upon a time. But you're right, it is still a viable and thriving entity, the library. It's still valid for the kids, and the summer reading programs are very successful. My kids have participated in that. I don't think they participated in the arts. Did you mention earlier when we were talking before, did you mention something about high school programs, or are there other programs for different grade groups? How do the programs get structured?
Well, in our reading programs, the library structures a lot of the programs that are specifically for reading. The librarians do that, and we support them with funds if they need funds for the programs in any way. The medals that the children have in the reading program, and the poo-poos or the cookies or anything that would take extra money to do for these special art programs.
Do you know the history of the library? Well, I mean, it's funny when you think about Oahu. Waialua is such a small community now, but in the course of time, it actually was a fairly prominent area for the island. So I know the library's been here a long time.
My understanding is it'll be 80 years in September, and it'll be
Okay.
an anniversary, and somebody in the community is helping us to plan something.
And that'll be coming up when, this year?
September,
Next
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get the word out and make sure we get a lot of people to come down to.
Oh, thank you very much.
So folks watching this, make sure you mark your calendar for later this fall to come to the anniversary celebration for the library. How would people find out about the library, or how do they get a hold of friends of the library?
Well, just come into the Waialua Library and ask for an application.
What else do you think is important? So what sort of person are we looking for to be a member?
It's people who like to read and think that
Okay.
literacy and continuing to develop their intellectual development and growth throughout their life.
Okay.
And the library is kind of the center for that. I mean, here we're part of Board of Education. There's a reason.
Right.
Because it is continuing education. And as we grow older, we know how important that is to keep our mind alert. But for our little ones, we want them to go to college, and so it's very important literacy and that they want to read. They get a joy of reading, and that's kind of what the reading program is all about.
Yeah. And then
Encourage people to read.
And then, of course, there's crafts and other things too that are done,
We have
especially in the Saturdays for the small
weekly
kids.
story time, and I'm actually been a storyteller at the library for coming up on 12 years.
Yeah.
And they're a different storyteller each week. Usually we take one week a month, so I do 1 week a month throughout the year. And sometimes the stories have themes, and usually followed up with craft. Around Easter, we usually have an Easter egg hunt. Around fall, we have a jack-o'-lantern that the kids, as a piñata, that the kids put costumes on and go around and hit. And
Are you looking for additional people to read at story time?
Always need volunteers.
Guest volunteers?
To help in the library, to shelf books, students or adults, to shelf books, to read, to help with programs. If you have an idea for a program that you've seen in another library that you think would be a good idea, come in, talk to Tim, or ask him if you can be in contact with one of the board members. There's about 10 of us, so we're around, and we're around a lot.
Oh, excellent, that's good. When I was a kid, we had to learn the card files. And then I didn't go, after I graduated from college, I didn't go to the library for a long time. And then one day I wandered into the library looking for books, and lo and behold, they had computers and everything.
That's it. It's
So we're not using cards anymore.
You can even go online. And
You can do it at home,
all
right?
Your books, yes.
You can do it at
order
home.
the books you want, and just put in your library card number and your PIN number, and you're good to go.
It's available, or if it's on back order, you get a handy little postcard in the mail sometimes to tell you that your book is available.
It eventually gets there.
Yeah. So my wife does that a lot. She checks out books and reserves them.
Come in and pick up a box of books, and you don't have to look at the shelf anymore.
Yeah.
And it makes this little building, expands it to a huge library. I can get more things through my library than I can get when I go and visit Fairfax County in Virginia at their library, because the statewide.
The paradigm has shifted, right? It's not come in and if it's on the shelf, you can have it. Now it's like if it's in the state
system,
we can have it the next day,
right, exactly.
and it's right there. So libraries are alive and well. Right. That's good to know, because a lot of people don't think about that.
Right.
And we really need the
support.
support.
In a small community like this, even more so, because it is the heart with all the events.
Even more important. Okay, so anything else you'd like to share about either the history of the library, the value to the community, friends of the library, how people can make a difference? Any closing thoughts you want to share with us? You plan to be doing this for another 20 years?
I became a storyteller. That's how I got involved. I came in, saw it, and I thought, well, I have a 2-year-old. It's important. I started with a 2-year-old, and volunteered to tell stories. And you know, she's 13 now, and now she helps me tell the stories. She plans them.
That's great.
And she helps me with puppets.
Do you have to make up the story, or do you get to read a book?
No, I order the books in advance, sometimes weeks in advance. I have a theme. I might order 8 and read 4.
Okay. So it's not as scary if somebody wants to come down. They don't have to be that creative. They can just read and participate.
Yeah, it's always nice to be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tim, the librarian, is he's always looking for volunteers and people that are interested in becoming involved.
That's great. So the information, anybody wants it, come down to the Waialua Library. They can learn how to join Friends for the Library. They can learn how to volunteer. They can pick up a book while they're at it. And I want to thank you for being. I want to thank you for being on the show today. It's been nice talking to you, and I love the library, and I'm glad that you work so hard for it. So thank you, and to all the other volunteers.
There's a lot of people who volunteer.
Yeah.
More than 120 volunteer hours a month.
That's great. It's huge and it's important. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for joining us for this conversation. Hope you have a great day, and we'll look forward to speaking with you next time on Gil Gets It Done. Aloha.